Hello, seekers of freedom. Welcome back to the podcast. I am Sarah.
And I am John.
John, today we are discussing a book that has been on the bestseller lists for years, especially in Japan. But I have to admit, the title scares me a little.
Let me guess. The Courage to be Disliked?
Yes, who wants to be disliked? My whole life I have been trying to get people to like me. The idea of having the courage to be hated sounds lonely.
It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? But Sarah, what if I told you that your desire to be liked is actually a prison? What if I told you that true freedom only comes when you're okay with someone disliking you?
That sounds terrifying, but also kind of liberating.
This book is based on the psychology of Alfred Adler. Most people know Freud and Jung, but Adler is the third giant of psychology, and his ideas are explosive. They're controversial. In fact, the very first concept in this book might make you angry.
Make me angry? Okay, I'm ready. Hit me with it.
The book claims trauma does not exist.
What? Okay, John, stop right there. That is dangerous. People go through terrible things. Abuse, war, accidents. You can't just say trauma doesn't exist. That sounds disrespectful to victims.
I know, it sounds heartless, but hear me out. Adler isn't saying that painful events don't happen. Of course they happen. But Freud, the traditional view, says your past determines your future. Because you were abused as a child, you are anxious today. This is called etiology, cause and effect.
Right. That makes sense. The past shapes us.
Adler disagrees completely. He believes in teleology. Teleology means purpose. Adler says you are not driven by your past causes, you're driven by your present goals.
I don't understand. Can you give me an example?
Imagine a man who refuses to leave his room. He isolates himself. He says, I can't go out because I have anxiety from my past bullying. Freud would say, yes, the bullying caused the anxiety. Adler says, no, the man has a goal. He doesn't want to go out. He wants to stay safe inside, so he creates the anxiety as a tool to achieve his goal.
Wait, you're saying he's choosing to be anxious to keep himself inside?
Exactly. He's manufacturing the emotion to suit his purpose. Think about anger. Have you ever shouted at someone?
Yes, sometimes my kids don't listen and I lose my temper.
And you probably say, I couldn't help it, the anger just took over. But imagine this. You're shouting at your kids and suddenly the phone rings. It's your boss. Do you answer the phone screaming?
No, I pick up and say, hello? Oh, hi, boss.
And when you hang up, do you start screaming again?
Usually, yes.
So, you can turn the anger on and off like a light switch. Adler says, you didn't shout because you were uncontrollably angry. You used anger as a tool to make your children listen. You chose anger to control them.
Wow, that is confronting. So I'm not a victim of my emotions? I'm the creator of them?
Yes, and that's why Adlerian psychology is called the psychology of courage. If trauma determines your life, you're powerless. You're a victim of the past. But if you determine your life based on your current goals, you are free. You can change your goal right now. You can choose to be happy right now, regardless of what happened to you in the past.
That's empowering, but it puts all the responsibility on me. I can't blame my parents anymore?
Nope, you can't blame your parents, your childhood, or the economy. It's all on you. And this brings us to the second major concept. Adler says all problems are interpersonal relationship problems.
All of them? Even money? Even health?
Even those. If you were the only person in the universe, would you worry about money?
No, there would be nothing to buy.
Would you worry about being ugly or fat?
No, because there would be nobody to compare myself to.
Exactly. Our suffering comes from comparison. It comes from competition. We feel inferior. Adler says feelings of inferiority aren't bad. They can push us to grow. I want to work harder. But usually we have an inferiority complex. We use our inferiority as an excuse. I'm not successful because I'm not educated. I'm not married because I'm short.
We use it as a shield. I can't do X because of Y.
Yes, we're scared of getting hurt by people, so we dislike ourselves before others can dislike us. We isolate ourselves to avoid the pain of rejection. This is why the book says, to be free, you must have the courage to be disliked.
Okay, we have arrived at the title. Explain this to me. Why is being disliked a good thing?
Sarah, do you want to be free?
Yes.
True freedom is being disliked by other people.
How is that freedom? That sounds like a nightmare.
Think about it. If you're living your life trying to satisfy other people's expectations, your parents, your boss, your friends, you're not living your own life. You're living their life. You're constantly lying to yourself. You're wearing a mask.
That's true. I say yes when I want to say no because I don't want them to be angry.
Exactly. You're a slave to their approval. If someone dislikes you, it's proof that you're living freely. It's a sign that you're exercising your freedom. You cannot stop people from disliking you. That's their task, not yours.
Their task? This is the most practical tool in the book, the separation of tasks.
Separation of tasks. How does that work? You have to ask yourself one question. Whose task is this? Or simpler, who's going to receive the result of this action? Let's look at a parent and a child. The child won't study. The parent yells, threatens, and worries.
That sounds familiar.
But whose task is studying?
It's the child's task.
Correct. If the child doesn't study, who receives the result? Failure. The child. When the parent tries to force the child to study, the parent is intruding on the child's task. This creates conflict. It destroys the relationship.
So I should just let my child fail? That sounds bad parenting.
No, Adler says you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Your task as a parent is to lead the child to the water, provide the environment, support, books, but drinking, that's their task. If you try to force the horse to drink, you'll drown the horse.
That's a powerful image, drowning the horse.
We do this with everyone. We worry, what will my neighbor think if I wear these clothes? Stop. What your neighbor thinks is their task. It's none of your business. Your task is to choose your clothes. If you separate the tasks, your life becomes incredibly light. You drop the baggage of other people.
It is none of your business what other people think of you. That's hard to swallow, but I see the logic. So if I separate tasks and I accept being disliked, what's left? Am I just a selfish loner?
No, this is the beautiful twist. Adlerian psychology is not about isolation. It's about community feeling. The goal of life is to feel that you belong, to feel that I have a place here.
But how do I belong if I don't care what people think?
You belong by contributing to others. Happiness is simply the feeling of contribution. If you feel useful to someone, you feel happy. But, and this is key, you don't need their praise to feel useful.
I don't need them to say thank you?
No. If you need them to say thank you, you're back to seeking approval. You're back to living their life. You contribute because you choose to. You self-satisfy. You say, I helped someone. I know I was useful. That's enough.
That's a very high level of maturity. John, the book also talks about horizontal versus vertical relationships. What does that mean?
This is about equality. Most of us have vertical relationships. I'm the parent, superior. You're the child, inferior. I'm the boss, superior. You're the worker, inferior.
Isn't that just reality? My boss is superior to me in rank.
In rank, yes, but not as a human being. Adler says we must build horizontal relationships. Everyone is equal, but moving at a different pace. And here's the shocking part. You should never praise anyone.
What? Never praise? But I praise my kids all the time. Good job, you're so smart.
But think about it, Sarah. When do you praise someone? Do you praise your boss? Do you say, good job, boss, you tied your shoes correctly?
No, that would sound condescending.
Exactly. Praise is the act of a superior judging an inferior. Good job means I'm above you and I approve of your action. It creates a vertical relationship. The child learns to seek your approval. They become dependent on you.
So, what should I do instead? If my kid draws a picture, do I say nothing?
You offer encouragement and gratitude. Instead of good job, judgment, say, thank you for drawing this, gratitude. Or, it looks like you worked really hard on this, encouragement. When you say thank you, you're speaking to an equal. When you say good boy, you're training a pet.
Wow, I never thought about praise as manipulation. But it is, isn't it? We praise them so they do it again.
Yes, it's carrot and stick. Adler wants us to throw away the carrot and stick. Treat people as equals, help them, contribute to them, but don't judge them, even not positively.
This philosophy turns everything upside down. Trauma doesn't exist, don't seek approval, don't praise your kids. Trauma doesn't exist, don't seek approval, don't praise your kids.